Did you know that a single raisin dropped on your kitchen floor could be enough to cause your cat's kidneys to shut down completely? Most loving owners unknowingly poison their pets every day by sharing human scraps that seem perfectly safe but are actually lethal. We often treat our feline companions like small humans, assuming that if a food is healthy for us, it must be nutritious for them. However, their unique biology processes chemicals differently, turning common snacks into silent killers hidden in your fridge. Science reveals that their liver lacks specific enzymes needed to break down compounds that are harmless to people and dogs. If you want to protect your pet from a medical emergency, you need to learn exactly which ingredients are strictly forbidden. Let us begin with the most pervasive myth in cat history, which is the charming image of a happy kitten lapping up a saucer of cow milk. The biological reality is that most adult cats are lactose intolerant and lack the enzyme lactase needed to digest dairy properly. Feeding them milk causes severe gastrointestinal distress, including painful gas, vomiting and diarrhea that leads to dehydration. Moving on to the vegetable kingdom, you must absolutely banish onions, garlic, chives and leeks from your cat's food bowl forever. These plants contain compounds called thiosulphates, which attack and destroy a cat's red blood cells, causing life-threatening anemia. The danger is that symptoms like lethargy and pale gums often do not appear until days after ingestion, delaying critical treatment. It does not matter if the onion is raw, cooked, or powdered in seasoning, it remains toxic and creates a cumulative poisoning effect. Everyone knows chocolate is bad for dogs, but few realize it is arguably even more dangerous for the smaller sensitive body of a cat. Chocolate contains theobromine and caffeine, two powerful stimulants that a cat's system cannot metabolize or eliminate effectively. Ingestion can lead to dangerous heart arrhythmias, muscle tremors, seizures, and in severe cases, fatal cardiac arrest within hours. Dark chocolate and baking chocolate are the most lethal varieties because they contain the highest concentration of cocoa solids. Another kitchen staple that causes sudden organ failure is the humble grape, along with its dried counterpart, the common raisin. While scientists are still identifying the exact toxic agent, we know that even a small amount can cause acute kidney failure in cats. If you see your cat vomiting or acting hyperactive after eating fruit, you must rush them to the emergency veterinarian immediately. If you enjoy baking at home, you must be extremely vigilant about leaving raw yeast dough rising on your kitchen counters or tables. If a cat eats raw dough, the yeast continues to ferment inside their warm stomach, producing alcohol and carbon dioxide gas rapidly. This expansion can cause the stomach to twist, cutting off blood supply, while the alcohol is absorbed directly into their bloodstream. Speaking of alcohol, it is absolutely crucial to understand that a cat's liver has zero tolerance for any form of ethanol consumption. Because their bodies are so small, just a teaspoon of alcohol can cause coma, severe liver damage, and eventually respiratory failure. You should also check your peanut butter and sugar-free gums for an artificial sweetener known as xylitol, or sometimes birch sugar. In cats, xylitol triggers a massive release of insulin that causes blood sugar to plummet to dangerous levels within just a few minutes. This condition, known as hypoglycemia, leads to loss of coordination, seizures, and liver failure if not treated aggressively by a vet. Many owners treat their cats with canned tuna meant for humans, but this can actually lead to serious malnutrition over a long period. Human tuna lacks essential nutrients like taurine and calcium, and a steady diet of it can cause dangerous heart and bone problems. Furthermore, excessive consumption of predatory fish can lead to mercury poisoning, causing neurological damage and difficulty walking. Another common mistake is feeding dog food to cats in an emergency, assuming that all pet food is created equal nutritionally. Cats are obligate carnivores requiring high protein, while dog food is omnivorous and lacks the vital vitamin A and arachidonic acid. Without these specific nutrients, a cat can go blind and develop a fatal heart condition known as dilated cardiomyopathy over time. While cats eat raw meat in the wild, the raw meat from a grocery store is often contaminated with salmonella and E. coli bacteria. Additionally, raw egg whites contain a protein called avidin, which blocks the absorption of biotin, leading to skin and coat issues. Feeding cooked bones is a recipe for disaster, as the cooking process makes them brittle and likely to splinter into sharp shards. These sharp fragments can puncture the throat, stomach, or intestines, causing internal bleeding and requiring surgical removal. We must also discuss liver, which is healthy in small amounts, but toxic if it becomes a staple of your cat's daily diet. Eating too much liver causes vitamin A toxicity, a condition that results in abnormal bone growth on the spine and elbows. This toxicity makes movement incredibly painful for your cat, and can even lead to paralysis if the diet is not corrected immediately. Never leave your morning coffee or tea unattended, as caffeine acts as a powerful nervous system stimulant for all felines. Symptoms of caffeine poisoning include restlessness, rapid breathing, heart palpitations, and muscle tremors that look like shivering. Another surprising danger is the fat trimmings from meat that owners often cut off and give to their cats as a special treat. Both cooked and uncooked fat can cause pancreatitis, a painful inflammation of the pancreas that requires hospitalization to treat. You should also be wary of giving your cat bones from fish or poultry, as these are small enough to get stuck in the roof of the mouth. Choking is a real hazard, and a lodged bone can cause panic and tissue necrosis if it is not extracted by a professional quickly. Salt is another ingredient to watch, as cats are very sensitive to sodium poisoning compared to humans who eat salty snacks. Eating chips or pretzels can lead to excessive thirst, urination, tremors, and seizures due to the electrolyte imbalance. Nutmeg, a common spice in holiday baking, contains myristicin, which can cause hallucinations and disorientation in cats. Even small amounts of this spice can cause a cat to experience high heart rates, abdominal pain, and severe agitation. Mushrooms are another tricky category, as while some are safe, many wild varieties and even some garden mushrooms are highly toxic. It is best to avoid fungi entirely, as distinguishing between safe and poisonous varieties is difficult, and the risk is too high. Citrus fruits like lemons, limes, and oranges contain essential oils and sorolins that are toxic to cats if ingested in quantity. While most cats dislike the smell, eating the stems, leaves, or peels can cause vomiting, diarrhea, and depression of the nervous system. It is also important to mention that many diet pills and supplements containing alpha-lipoic acid are extremely toxic to felines. Always keep your personal medications and supplements locked away in a cabinet, as a dropped pill is an attractive toy to a cat. Avocado contains a toxin called persin, which can cause vomiting and diarrhea in cats, although it is more deadly to birds and horses. However, the high fat content in avocado can still trigger pancreatitis, so it is better to keep your guacamole away from your pet. Macadamia nuts are known to cause weakness, depression, vomiting, and tremors in dogs, and anecdotal evidence suggests risks for cats. The high fat content alone makes nuts a poor choice for snacks, as they contribute to obesity and digestive upset in sedentary cats. Be careful with baby food, which is often used to entice sick cats to eat, but may contain onion or garlic powder for flavour. Always read the label to ensure that the meat-based baby food is pure and does not contain these hidden toxic ingredients. The bottom line is that your cat relies entirely on you to make safe nutritional choices that align with their specific biology. By sticking to a balanced diet formulated specifically for felines, you eliminate these risks and ensure they live a long life. Preventing access to these dangerous foods is the single most effective way to avoid tragic accidents and expensive vet bills. The most loving thing you can do is to say no to those begging eyes when you are eating something that could hurt them. Join our community of cat lovers to master every aspect of feline nutrition and ensure your pet lives their happiest life.